It's Opie and Anthony. Still a bunch of things to do today. We got this.
Oh.
I am the werewolf. Help. Werewolf in London.
Werewolf in Paris.
Werewolf is fun.
Werewolf is cute. Werewolf is gothic.
I turned myself into a werewolf.
By 2 demons. Werewolf is boys. Naked.
Baby.
I like to make werewolf movies.
I fight vampires.
Werewolves like to howl. They meet in the jungle of dirt. Every night I turn myself into a werewolf.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Oh my God. I'm looking at
What the hell?
This will be a video that a lot of people are going to check out today because
put out by Foundry?
they just
Curses!
yeah, Foundry Music put out this video. Obviously, it says it right on the screen. It's amazing that Steve is taking everyone else's copywritten videos.
Wow, Steve was there recording these retards?
And he puts his logo on it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's all the former members of Foundry.
The video's up on foundrymusic.com. It's
The fucking watermark's in the middle of the video. But Steve, look at why?
And then a commercial comes up.
brought to you by Fart Inhaler. I swear to God, that's what just came
Is that what it was?
Is this
How do you enjoy this video?
Huh?
How can you fucking watch this video?
Get on the mic. Steve. He writes, this was not brought to you by 2007 FoundryMusic.com.
He will put a watermark on anything. You will take credit. Oh, he will take credit. I thought it was... There he is.
Steve, how do they watch the video with this on it? It's like
With what on it?
Like the big watermark.
There's no. It's like the whole middle of it. First of all, I'm not the first website that's ever put a watermark on a video. A ton of them have
I'm
done.
not saying you're the first one.
Okay.
But look, that and that. It's what is it?
The new Foundry iPhone. Look for it.
Exactly. Are you saying that the markings on the top and the bottom are obstructing your view completely of the video?
It's
Yeah,
kind
a
of
little bit.
It's kind of
bit.
obnoxious. This was not
Ridiculous.
brought to you by 2007 FoundryMusic.com.
That's right.
That's a lot of writing on
I
the
didn't
on the
even read what they
screen.
said.
Okay.
But why?
Why? Because when you post videos like this, first of all, it's just a good way to market them because they get lifted and put on other websites. That was one of the first reasons we started watermarking.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be good if it said Opie and Anthony? Because that's like the brand we're all trying to like work toward.
Oh, the Opie and Anthony videos have Opie and Anthony plastered all over them.
Yeah, but even the viral videos and things like that should have some kind of a, as heard on the Opie and Anthony show.
Oh, half these, if these things go up after the fact, usually I do. If these things go up after the fact, but that was posted, I think, 2 weeks ago. I can watermark them with whatever the hell you want me to.
But and also it should be real small.
Yeah.
So somebody else can cover it up when they lift it off my friggin' website.
How often is that going to happen? That where they're going?
You'd be surprised on how many. I could rattle off the websites.
Web wars.
Dude, I've been doing this for a long time, and and to be perfectly honest, I've seen content that I've actually gone through and sifted through, and land on other people's websites all the time, and everybody else watermarks it. So why not?
But to me,
Why not?
The risk of them taking it.
And if they don't like it, they can always email me and tell me to take it down, and I will.
But the risk of them taking our videos, like from the show,
Happens all the time.
let them have it. I mean, this is Opie and Anthony show on the bottom. It's fine. People at least
Those
know
things
where
get
it is.
covered up sometimes, so I try to make them at least to the point where they'd have to go out of their way to cover them up.
Well, if they're going to cover it up, they're going to cover it up. I mean, you know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
It's almost like the risk of them covering it up, the video being unwatchable.
So you found this video, is what you're saying, Steve?
Sure did.
Or did you shoot this video?
No, I didn't shoot it. That's why I say it's not.
That's
brought to
right
me
from
by-
Jamaica Station. FoundryMusic.com presents YouTube.com.
That's right.
It is
Opie and Anthony.com.
it is a bunch of retards doing what? What were they doing?
A werewolf play?
A werewolf type
It's called a poetry slam.
Poetry slam, man.
What does that mean?
Should be a head slam with a mallet. No?
I have no idea. It's like free form poetry.
By the way, most
Should've been.
people are saying that you're bullshitting everybody, that they mostly see Foundry logos, not O&A logos.
I'm going to see it now. Me on the Tonight Show.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, boy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
You had nothing to do with Jimmy on the Tonight Show.
Oh, no. Look at what is
And
it
that's, Steve, I'm not even joking. This is way out of hand, because at the very least, this one should be opieandanthony.com.
I can re-watermark that one. I can re-watermark.
That one just says foundrymusic.com with the big Foundry logo. It's bigger than Jay Leno's logo.
The logo is bigger than Jimmy's head.
Oh, my God.
To me, if you're going to watermark something, that's how it should be watermarked under where the video is. The NBC watermark is. Look at NBC owns this, and look where their watermark is.
It's above mine. I didn't cover theirs up.
Dude, NBC owns the video, and their logo is tiny compared to
And
what
a
you got
watermark
going
is
on
something
in this
you
video.
can see through, hence water. It's like a watermark.
If I could figure out how to do that, I would. I just don't know how to do that.
Your graphic is...
That's just solid text.
Your graphic is, it's safe to say, is 10 times bigger than the NBC logo. And this is an NBC video featuring Jim Norton from the Opie and Anthony Show. But you wouldn't know that. You would think Foundry Music pretty much owns Jim Norton.
But it's a fair question, because if NBC puts a very small watermark in the bottom right-hand corner so you know it's their property,
sure,
understandable. Why is there not, like on the Opie and Anthony videos, just a little thing in the corner that says Opie and Anthony?
On the Opie and Anthony videos, there's tons of stuff.
This is
an Opie and Anthony video!
All right, I can put an Opie and Anthony on
Foundry
there.
on them, and not to knock Foundry, but why is that on there and not Opie and Anthony?
Find another video. Let's see.
We'll do a few
tests.
Steve said that Opie and Anthony are...
It's all over them.
It is.
all over
Look at that one that's right there in front of Eric. The one that he just popped up. The ones that are shot in studio have Opie and Anthony littered all over them.
But if Jimmy goes on the Tonight Show, then you own Jimmy.
Yes.
You own the video of Jimmy on the Tonight Show.
But it still says, and Foundry Music presents.
Because I hosted the damn thing, Jimmy.
So what? It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
I understand that, and I'm not taking any credit away from the Opie and Anthony Show. And look at that big Opie and Anthony on top of the thing.
Yeah, it's opieandanthony.com. You can hardly read it.
That's not true.
Your videos look like a NASCAR car.
And Foundry.
There's logos all over the fucking place.
It's a fair question, man.
No, it's a fair question, and the fair answer is I've been hosting these things for 8 years and subsidizing the entire operation. So, you know what? I'm more than happy to plug opieandanthony.com, and I'll do it on every video that we shoot in studio. But as long as I'm hosting them, and as long as I'm farming these things out,
as long as you live under my roof.
Hold on, no, I don't know how this works. You're
right.
saying that you've been paying for this for all these years.
Yes.
Okay, well then how does that get changed? You shouldn't have to pay for that.
Well, he makes money.
It subsidizes.
You absolutely make money with
it
this
pays
website.
for itself. Yeah, it pays for itself. Yeah, and it has been. But I'm the only person footing the bills for these things, so I host them.
So why doesn't it just, and this is a legit question, why doesn't Opie and Anthony just have the Opie and Anthony thing on it and be paid for by the Opie and Anthony, I don't want to say empire, but whatever you want to call it?
The empire.
Why isn't that? That makes more sense. This way you won't have to pay for anything.
I don't know.
I mean, what's the solution? I'm not a web guy. I don't know. I barely can keep up my fucking, putting pictures on my website. But what is the solution here? Because it's
Wow, and your logo goes above opieandanthony.com. Now we're looking at us on Letterman. It says foundrymusic.com, then opieandanthony.com. Steve, man.
You get top billing.
Well, that was one of the first ones we ever did with both of them on there.
Steve. And you make it sound like you're not making money. You're making money off this website.
Yeah, generates revenue. That's how you sustain a website. But believe me, I'm not living in a mansion, and I never have been as a result of this thing.
Ooh.
I'm contacting my lawyer.
Okay.
You don't have a lawyer.
Yes, I do.
Gotta get one first.
No, I got a lawyer. All right, look, here's another example. Us on Leno, the opieandanthony.com is probably, safe to say, 1/5 the size of the 2006 foundrymusic.com logo as we walk on stage.
But that to me,
The first thing you see is foundrymusic.com, and then in the...
Steve, turn your head sideways to Ope.
What?
Why are you sweating?
You are sweating bullets.
Why does I'm not sure. This is what I don't get. Like the Opie and Anthony watermark on the top, to me, that's legitimate. That's a small watermark.
All right.
And it should be up there in the top left, Because that's look what the TV does. And we always kill Fox and CNN. They do the same thing because they brand it so much. OpieandAnthony.com in the top left-hand corner is very rarely going to interfere with video.
At the very least, the Opie and Anthony logo should be a little bigger than FoundryMusic.com.
I'll make them both equal sized. And
I
I'll
don't know
put
why-
No!
I
It
don't-
shouldn't be equal size.
I don't know how it ties in. I just don't know how it.
It shouldn't be equal size, Steve. If we don't have a radio show, you don't have all these videos.
I have
You wouldn't have a way to
Who
market
owns
your
the video?
website. It
Opie
should
and Anthony
never
owns
be
business, right?
equal logos, equal size logos.
I will make the Opie and Anthony ones huge, the Foundry ones small, and I'll re-watermark 8 years worth of stuff.
No,
You know?
I'm not talking about that. And you know I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things that are put. It's like the Opie and Anthony page goes to Foundry Music. I don't know what the difference between the two companies is. What is it? What's the difference?
It's just, it was one page. I already had the site set up with a ton of stuff on it. To rebuild the entire thing would have taken years worth of work. So we just said, look, I'll build a faceplate and put the opieandanthony.com on there, and everything will just go through the existing content.
Yeah, but shouldn't OpieandAnthony.com be its own thing?
It can be.
Wouldn't that be easier?
No, it would mean I would have to rebuild an entire website.
No, but I mean financially, it's easier because you shouldn't have to foot the bill.
He's not flipping the bill. He's making money.
But but I'm saying you.
See, you're confusing everybody. Steve makes money off FoundryMusic.com. I'm not gonna sit here and listen that he's not making money.
No, I never said I wasn't. It has to generate revenue, or it wouldn't go up, or it wouldn't be able to stay up. But
it's not that he's flipping no bills. It's a business opportunity. He's making money off FoundryMusic.com thanks to our radio show. Simple as that.
And also thanks to a lot of marketing that I've done out peripherally of that. You know, Opie and Anthony isn't the only source of traffic to the website. If it was, I'd get killed with the bills because the bandwidth.
It's the main source.
Yeah, but they have
by
to
far.
That makes that I didn't know. That they shouldn't they be separate? I mean, like Foundry should be its own existing website. But why wouldn't I don't know. I honestly don't get it. I'm asking. I'm not yelling and screaming. I don't know.
It takes a tremendous amount of bandwidth to host those files. Okay, bandwidth costs whatever it costs. You know, can be more some months, can be less some months. You have to generate revenue off the traffic to pay for that bandwidth. Opie and Anthony draws in a certain amount of traffic, and you have to draw in traffic with other stuff to draw in the amount of traffic it takes to sustain that bandwidth that people are downloading stuff with.
Porno.
Sometimes, yeah.
But doesn't that? But if OpieandAnthony.com is separate,
if OpieandAnthony.com is separate, that wants to be run by its own corporation, they can put whatever they want on it.
But it's for the radio show, and it would help because we could mention it on the air because there'd be no porn tie-ins.
You could do whatever you want if it was its own thing. You could have it set up at its own. You could have it set up any way you wanted to, but then it becomes its own corporation, and another corporation pays for it, and then you put whatever you want on it.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
Okay.
I mean, am I wrong? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, I don't. It makes sense because if we can't have.
Well, then we would need a webmaster, somebody that would post it and do all the work.
Well, isn't that what you do? That's what this is what I don't understand. I don't comprehend how this works. You're the web guy. Your thing. That's what you do. We don't need another web guy, do we? I don't need another web guy.
Well, what happened?
Well, what would he be doing that for? If it was opieandanthony.com.
What do you mean?
Like, what would he be doing it for? Would he be getting paid extra?
Yeah, would I be doing another? Would I be getting?
Because then Foundry would fall off to nothing.
Well, is
I want to go to the phones, but the phones just exploded, so
they don't work?
I don't know. We got to get them back up.
Is there a Foundry logo on Steve falling on his ass on the bicycle? E-Rocks to fixing it. Thank God.
All right, there you go. We'll have to get to the bottom of this, I guess.
I don't.
Jimmy doesn't get it.
I honestly don't. I honestly don't. Why are we looking at this?
He's just showing you more videos that have the big, huge FoundryMusic.com logo just to piss you off.
I'm not mad about it. I don't. It's silly. It's like they watermarked my website. The guy, he did a great job. I'm not done with my website, but he watermarked all my pictures. I made him take it down Because to me, it was like, I understood why he did it. It was a bunch of Jim Norton photos, and there's a little watermark in the corner. It was like me holding a microphone. It was obnoxious. But I'm like, dude, I don't want watermarks on. If they're going to take them, take them. I mean, what are they going to do? Fucking steal my pictures and do what with them? You know what I mean? It's like Baby Bird. I mean, most O&A videos, there's some kind of a show presence in there. It's like, where are they going to put them that people won't know it's the Opie and Anthony show? I mean, they may on some...
A lot of people don't know.
Huh?
A lot of people don't know.
Well, then it should just be Opie and Anthony in the corner. Like
we put it in the front and the back and across the top.
But it's like, if it's for the O&A
Basically,
show,
Jimmy's saying if you just had every video at opieandanthony.com and no mention of foundrymusic.com, you would still survive as a website and continue to make money.
It's not
That's what
not
Jimmy's
Foundry.
getting at.
My point with Foundry is you have to have porn because you make money that way.
Right.
But O&A we can't mention it on the air because they're afraid of porn tie-ins, which annoys me.
There's actually, the reality is they're a lot more afraid of the old Opie and Anthony footage. The stuff that I've done with the porn ads and stuff like that has less to do with what pisses them off.
Oh, no, it might even be the old footage too.
That's a lot of what I have to pick through and still go through and pick up. And like they rarely mention the adult stuff because I've torn all there's no porn on the website. There hasn't been for ages. If there's a porn company that advertises, that's something different, but there's nothing graphic. A lot of the issues with the content that they had were videos that were shot back at NEW that I'm still picking through to find out where they all are. It's like playing, find a needle in a haystack.
It just doesn't make sense to me. I didn't even know there were two separate sites. I thought there were two separate sites. I had no idea that was the same.
No, there's definitely two different
websites.
Two separate sites that are kind of connected. And
when you click on opieandanthony.com and then click on something there, it usually goes to Foundry.
Right.
Because that's where, that's where it's stored.
That's where the content all is. Yeah, we have 3 big dedicated servers.
All right, so you're saying that you like that we'll have to get the show will have to get another web guy to host opieandanthony.com? So you were the web guy for a long time. You produce now, but you were the web guy for a long time.
Right.
So weren't you supposed to host that or no?
I did host it for a long time. I have been hosting it for a long time.
So then why get another guy?
If you want 2 separate websites, it's 2 separate. It's basically now you've got to put another website on another server and incur another set of costs.
No, we just want the Foundry Music logo off stuff.
My thing is, if you were hosting the website and you were supposed to host the website, why would you not prioritize the opieandanthony.com?
I did prioritize it. I built an entire domain for it.
No, I'm saying if you had to be Foundry and Opie and Anthony.
Because Opie and Anthony draws in a certain amount of traffic, and the viral stuff draws in another pile of traffic, and then there's traffic from all other sources internationally. A lot of them don't know what Opie and Anthony is. Okay, so you draw in traffic from a number of different sources. If I had to rely on Opie and Anthony traffic solely to monetize the thing, I'd never be able to pay for it.
Well, I don't care about traffic that doesn't know what Opie and Anthony is, because that doesn't affect
Sure you do. Sure you do, because that's how you market the thing.
No, I don't care about that. We don't care about that, because only the people that are fans of the show are going to pretty much go to the site.
That's not true. That's not true. Believe me, I've seen the traffic patterns. You can market to people that aren't fans, that are of the same demo, by taking content that is unrelated and drawing them in, and then they see stuff that is Opie and Anthony related and go, oh, okay, cool, I didn't know about this.
But I mean, that's not like really what the Opie and Anthony site is for. It's like the radio show itself is going to be more of a promotional vehicle for the site than the site's going to be for the radio.
Not necessarily. Show. You might think that, but
of course,
I'm not saying the radio show is not. They're
not comparable.
All right, why does the logo have to be on every video?
Because it's on every Opie and Anthony video.
The Foundry Music logo.
Because that's where that's where I host it. I host them on those websites. It doesn't have to be anything, but it's sort of like one of those things where I hosted it on the servers which we've had on the which
yeah, but let's say you got like a website from a different radio show, and they're obviously hosted on some service hosts them. I don't think the people that they hosted on put their watermark on.
Yeah, but then again, there's nothing else. There's no other radio show that has something like this. There really isn't. No other radio shows have anything like this.
No.
Like websites?
No, not websites, but something that is of this magnitude, that has an 8-year archive of media behind it.
Well, I'm not talking about the old stuff. I'm talking about the new stuff. I understand old stuff, man. You can't go back and redo everything. That's a lot of work. I'm talking about new stuff, like stuff that went up from the last couple of years or whatever like that. Like I don't. This is what I'm not sure of. If opieandanthony.com is its own website, or Foundry is its own website, why would Foundry take priority over opieandanthony.com? If you had to split the websites, I'm saying, like, why wouldn't Foundry be your thing and OpieandAnthony.com be this?
It certainly can be.
So why wouldn't you still be paid to do OpieandAnthony.com?
It's not a question for me. It's not. It's like it was never something that was negotiated.
Well, it's just one of these things. We know that you're making money off this whole thing.
Yeah,
or you wouldn't have done it all these years.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I've always, believe me.
So why is FoundryMusic.com on every video?
Because
we're not getting to the bottom of it.
Because
you're trying to get like recognition for FoundryMusic.com.
Sure, but it's
because
also,
I personally think if every video just had OpieandAnthony.com, you would still make the same amount of money. You would have pretty much the same traffic.
You'd think, but I draw in so much traffic from other things that have nothing to do with Opie and Anthony. Like you just put in certain viral videos that don't have anything to do with Opie and Anthony, and you market them that way, and sometimes those get a ton of traffic. And so also, like you have to network with other websites that might not be Opie and Anthony fans.
Fuck them then. You know what? I'll say this for the record.
Okay.
Fuck them. We don't need to be involved with them. What site would we be involved with that wouldn't be, I know I'm very defensive, but what site would we be involved with that wouldn't be Opie and Anthony fans? That would have a problem with.
Sometimes there's international sites that you just don't, they get a ton of traffic that would like the same kind of content, don't know what the radio show is, but if you go in under the, what's the word I'm looking for? Under the, not assumption, under the guise of another, like, what? Auspices, is that it?
But no, if they're not Opie and Anthony fans, they're not going to be FoundryMusic.com fans.
They're fans of content that may or may not have been hosted on the site. There's tons of websites out there that host that host viral content. Okay,
right.
All right. And they put watermarks on them, and they can generate a tremendous amount of traffic based on that content. They're not taking credit for it. They're simply saying hosted at, or and I've never taken credit for something that I didn't do. I don't take credit for these things. I'll simply, and that's why I put this was not brought to you by. I'll simply say, I'll put a watermark on there and say it was hosted at. And sometimes you get things that you get mailers, you get letters from people saying, hey, that's mine, either give me credit or take it down. And I absolutely do that all the time.
But if it's, no, what I'm saying is if say we go to a site, they're not Opie and Anthony fans, the content is what they're looking at anyway.
Sure.
So why would they put the content up that has Foundry on it, but not if it had OpieandAnthony.com on it? Like that's like even international.
You'd be surprised at
I
like
would
people.
be.
Yeah, because they have the preconception that they don't already like it. Because sometimes they're like, oh,
What's an example of that?
Cake Stomp. Tried to farm that out to a bunch of different websites. A lot of people saw it.
Oh no. I mean, what site? Not the Cake Stomp's a great one. But what site did you try to go to? Or sites where they said we don't like Opie and Anthony.
I can look back in my email and tell you.
I'm actually curious. I'm not.
I will show
curious.
you. I will go back in my email and look because I've got things where they're just like, hey, I'm not crazy about that video. I think you guys are mean. Blah 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 blah.
But they would say the same thing.
But a week later, you go back to them with another video of something else, and they'll say, hey, that was pretty funny. I'll put it up.
Right. So I'm saying that doesn't have anything to do with the watermark. That's the content.
Sure.
That's the you know what I'm saying? I'm not asking about the content. Like if it's just OpieandAnthony.com or FoundryMusic.com, they're not going to put the cake stomping video up anyway because they think it's mean.
Sure.
So it doesn't make sense. Like that's not a.
Greg from Jersey writes, by putting Foundry Music logo on your videos, he could drive more traffic to his site and make more money.
And
I wish traffic and revenue were actually were equitable things, but they're not. Sometimes the site gets a huge boost in traffic and there's no increase in revenue. Sometimes
I guess it's bothersome to have your logo as big, or if not bigger than our logo. I mean, that's crazy to me. I mean, the brand is Opie and Anthony. We all make money from the brand Opie and Anthony. And for some reason, Foundry Music has an equal thing in these videos, and it doesn't make sense to me. Because without the Opie and Anthony show, you're certainly not making anything off that website. You don't have to be called Opie and Anthony to make money from the Opie and Anthony show. But for some reason, Foundry Music is an equal partner.
Well, I have been hosting this thing for 8 years.
I understand that, and you made money for the last 8 years.
Well, believe me,
You've done all right, Steve. I'm not going to sit here and make believe you like we're in the poorhouse.
I never said I was.
Because of our website.
I never said I was, but
It also gave you an in to the show, which gives you a pretty good salary. So there's many connections.
I'm not screaming poverty, but I'm also not being. I can't sit here and say I could. I couldn't. It's not a sustainable living to do that. To do the website, it's just not. It costs a ton of money, and I have to generate a ton of money to keep that website alive.
By putting the logo on all the videos,
it helps to drive traffic. Yeah, absolutely.
Bigger than the Opie and Anthony logo, because Foundry Music is more important than Opie and Anthony. That's what that says. I took marketing in school. by making the logo bigger, that means Foundry. You're saying to people out there, FoundryMusic.com is way more important than OpieandAnthony.com. That's how it works in the marketing world.
That certainly wasn't the intention, and that's never been the intention.
And then it's kind of fucked up when Norton is on Leno, and the first thing you really see is FoundryMusic.com. But are you responsible for his TV appearances and comedy now?
But I like the way the Opie and Anthony logo is on that one. It is an Opie and Anthony video. It's fine. But I like the way it's in the top left-hand corner. I like that because it's out of the way. And this is not just with your side, but with television too. Like even the Rachel Ryan sign. It's a little bit big. It should be down left. But I can kind of live with something in a corner that's not interfering with the actual video. But with Foundry, it's just big and it's got a big. It makes it. I was watching that video with the wheelchairs. And I'm literally seeing like text across the heads and across the bottom.
No, it wasn't that bad. I mean, look, I can drive it. I can put it lower. I can shrink the font. I can do a number of things. But
Eric, show me that video. I mean, I don't think I'm busting your balls and making it up. I'm not. That's why I noticed. Watch when one of them is talking. We're watching a video right now of people in wheelchairs, which is how this thing started. They were just like right there. Stop. Or go back. You see what I'm saying? It's this font across the top of the guy's head.
It's across his forehead.
It's unwatchable like that. And you know that. It's like watching, here's an example. I watched that stupid Donkey Kong, which I loved, a documentary that Roland gave me. It's a screener copy.
Across his head right there.
And
look at this across his forehead. This was not brought to you by across his forehead.
Across the bottom of the screener copy, they're giving information, like so-and-so is the Donkey Kong champion. But the fact that they have this as a screener copy, I can't read a fucking thing that they're trying to tell me in the documentary. And I understand the screener copies they don't want leaking out, but they watermarked it wrong. They should have had it flashing occasionally. Mm-hmm. But like that, it's in the middle of the man's head.
When were we off the air? Those 2 years.
August 2002 to
fucking
October of 2004.
Okay.
Jesus, Andy, you have to ask?
Because I'm just looking, and it does coincide with the lowest period in hits over Foundry Music.
Does it really?
So you kind of need us to survive.
This is the time we were out of work.
You kind of got to work with us a little better, right? Making your logo bigger than our logo.
This is the time there was a big hit right there. Well, and then here's where we were out of work. So the majority of the traffic does seem to come from this program. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it does. I'm not saying it doesn't.
There are rats out there that just ratted out this site that was able to, hey, Anthony, check this out.
And I
could tell you about it.
I don't begrudge anybody from fucking. I make money off gigs from being on the Opie and Anthony show. I don't. Of course, you're supposed to drive traffic. That's part of what we do here. It helps. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have traffic go to Foundry. There's a lot of stuff that we probably see. The problem is like with OpieandAnthony.com getting mentioned on the CBS side, it does help drive people to it. And we don't want to just be on the K-Rock site because that's going to be fucking watered down, and we're going to have to listen to CBS when it comes to like language content and all that shit.
And I have to cooperate with them too because there's content that they don't want being shown in this.
But they still won't let us have that mentioned on the air, and part of the reason is because of what's on the site. Again, a lot of it's happened in the studio, so I'm not saying it was evil, but to me that's where the difference has to be.
And bringing it back to the special poetry slam werewolf thing.
Yeah,
is this an Opie and Anthony video or a Foundry Music video?
It's something I found a couple of weeks ago, so I put my watermark on it.
Yeah, but you're putting your watermark on videos that you have nothing to do with.
Right.
So why can't you put our logo on videos that we had nothing to do with?
I can.
Like it doesn't.
If you want.
Like your logic doesn't make sense. Jim Norton on the Tonight Show, you had no problem taking credit for that.
No, I didn't take credit
Which was
for
an
it.
easy grab and just posting. It wasn't like a video you had to film and produce and edit. That was a quick little snatch and grab there.
And I can understand wanting to drive traffic. I mean, it's a business. But again, the OpieandAnthony.com is much more recognizable or easier to remember than Foundry Music. I mean, if we know you, we know Foundry, and fans know Foundry. But if you're trying to drive traffic, if somebody just sees something, Foundry Music is not as easy to remember because people don't know exactly what it is.
I never felt FoundryMusic.com was easy to remember. That's why I always spelled it out.
Well, people are commenting about certain things on the Wired magazine message board or the comments that are under the article written by that douchebag. What the hell was his name? Steve Knopper. Underneath there, the first comment I read, when Lacey Peterson washed ashore, Steve watermarked her right away. I watermark a homeless person on my way to work this morning. Steve has a pristine watermark. He's babbling himself in circles. They're just commenting on this situation. And now, bashing the article. This article needs a Foundry logo.
This article was brought to you by FoundryMusic.com.
That's terrible. I'm sorry.
We gotta take a break.
Oh, they're pounding him. Oh, poor Steve.
What?
Look at
beating Steve up.
No, Steve feels beat up.
No,
I'm
writing back to Nava right now, actually.
How are you?
Yeah.
I get the.
Tell him to go screw.
I get the feeling that FoundryMusic.com is very, very much more important than OpieandAnthony.com.
What?
Mm-hmm. Why is that? Because the logo's bigger. Do I have to explain Marketing 101 to you guys? I'm a communication major.
Oh.
From the fine school that is Geneseo State University of New York.
See, OpieandAnthony.com is basically just a page.
Yeah.
Let's see with Coke Logic. Now, Coke Logic did some animation for the Space Shuttle Endeavour. Now, this was just mailed to Steve. Let's see how this plays out.
See. Did it land yet?
Space Shuttle Endeavour. The buffering, okay. Opie and Anthony. So why no logo on that?
Oh, but wait for it. Wait for it.
No.
You might have to go all the way to the end, Eric.
All right, so this is Coke Logic's creation. We had nothing to do with this. Steve had nothing to do with this. There's Coke Logic's...
Whoa!
Jesus Christ.
Holy Jesus. It is the biggest Foundry Music flaming logo I've ever seen.
All kidding aside,
I didn't do that.
Where the fuck is the OpieandAnthony.com?
Let it play, Eric.
It
I didn't do that.
Let it play. What? The Opie and Anthony... now Opie... See? You think FoundryMusic.com is way more important than OpieandAnthony.com.
I didn't do that.
Who did it?
Coke Logic did it.
It's on your site. You approved of it.
I didn't do that.
Coke Logic put it in his movie?
Oh, he just put it at the end of the movie.
in there.
Well, yeah.
Oh, well, that was a bad example.
Coke Logic, what are you, stupid?
Yes, he is. He's a silly boy from Chicago.
See, he's trained. You got them all trained.
All right, can we take a break and then we'll come back? We'll do line of the day and all that shit.
And I have to piss.
And get the fuck out of here. We were having fun with the retarded kids doing some kind of werewolf poetry.
I liked that.
Oh.
We'll play it again as we go to break.
Oh.
I am the werewolf. Help. Werewolf in London.
Werewolf in Paris.
Werewolf is fun.
Werewolf is cute. Werewolf is gothic.
I turned myself into a werewolf.
By two demons. Werewolf is boys. Naked.
I like to make werewolf movies.
I fight vampires.
Werewolves like to howl. They meet in the jungle of dirt. Every night I turn myself into a werewolf.
Pendulum brought to you by OpieandAnthony.com. Some band. I don't know the name of it offhand. It's O&A, XM, satellite radio. Radio. People found the last segment boring. What can I tell you?
Too bad.
It wasn't a segment.
I
I like that. It's like that last bit or that last segment or that last gag, that last thing. It was called a conversation.
You're working out something on the show, on the air, which we do. You were hearing something that we hadn't discussed, and we were discussing it. You didn't like it? Go fuck yourself.
That's what
Go to
happens
the boneyard for a little while.
with this type of radio show.